so I did all the right things, yeah. I released my free mixtape and a load of people downloaded it. So then I bought like 10,000 Twitter followers, paid for my YouTube views. Yeah, eventually a label signed me. We then released my official single and like 10 people downloaded it. And now the label are talking about dropping me. They're not even releasing my album. I'm just sitting there doing nothing. I don't understand what I did wrong. Can you help? Hello and welcome to the DIY Gang Guide. I'm Shao and I'll be your guide to independence in the UK music industry. Last week we spoke about how to get live shows, and we're going to continue the theme of getting your music out there today with a topic I suppose quite a hot topic amongst rappers, MCs, urban music quote unquote, and that's, putting out free... Got it. Putting out free releases. Now I'm going to say something quite controversial. I don't like free releases. But let me explain. You spent all of your time working on your music, put in months of work into this release. You've put in a lot of money into this release. You've finally got it right. You got it mixed, mastered. You've recorded it, all of which you've had to pay for. Then you take your 10, 15 track release and just throw it up online for free. Anyone can download it. And you get 5,000 downloads maybe, and you're boasting about that. But what do you have to show for it? The question is, how can you move forward from here? This is always what you should be thinking about. How can you progress? How can you do better than what you did before? And in my opinion, you can't really move forward easily if you've just spent all of your time working on something that you really love and then just throwing it away effectively. Yeah, people can download it for free, and yeah, you may make a load of new fans, and yeah, you might get your name out there, but I think there are a lot smarter ways to do it. Let's put it like that. My problem with free releases is I don't think people are doing them properly, and I want to give you a couple ideas, a couple thoughts to take away, think over, and see if maybe you can benefit from them. Because in principle, I don't have a problem with free releases, but I do have a problem with wasting opportunities. There are pros and cons with releasing some music for free. The biggest pro is obviously people who would have never heard of you would be willing to download your music for free. And there is an argument that people don't buy music these days. Having said that, that's a rubbish argument because I live off people buying my music, so I don't accept that. I think that people can buy your music, you just have to train your fans and you have to give them a reason to buy it. That can start off with a free release. It can be a fan's introduction into your music, but you got to play it right. Going back to the scenario we discussed a moment ago, you just had 5,000 downloads. You've now got your album. How do you get it to those 5,000 people who downloaded your music? How do you know what those people thought of your music? How do you know where they live? You could have had like 3,000 of those downloads from Poland, for instance, and how would you know unless people are specifically telling you? Now for me, I love music. I prefer to buy music. I will, wherever possible, buy it on iTunes, even if it is available for free and easy to get for free, just because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't always necessarily feel the need to tweet the artist and tell them, yeah, I downloaded your music and I love it. Similarly, in that vein, just because somebody's downloaded your music and loved it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get in contact to tell you about it. So how do you know? And you need to know in order to move forward. You've got your album sitting there. Where do you market it to? You're spending your time pushing it out in the UK when really all of your fans are in Poland. My first suggestion to you is, once again, a mailing list. And I'm going to keep hammering this into you until you get it. Mailing lists are so important. That can't be taken away from you. Facebook could close. Twitter, you could get hacked and lose your followers. Mailing list, that's yours. As long as you're backing up those email addresses, that's your secret weapon. That's your direct link into your fan base. Not all of those people are going to open your email all the time, but that's probably the best way you've got to get in contact with people reliably. Everyone's giving their music away for free, and I suppose the idea is that you have to compete with that. What you should be competing with is quality more than anything else. Quality over quantity, I would definitely say. If your music sounds like it should be given away for free, then you're already losing. And it's very difficult for the average consumer, the average music listener, to know what to download and to sift through all of that music that is available for free and know what's good. So if somebody has chosen to download your music, you need to make the most of the opportunity. There are sites like, you know, DatPiff, that sort of thing, where you can just throw your music up. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a major fan of it, just because once again it just gives you numbers and you want more than that. If you want my advice, I would suggest going with Bandcamp, and I say this Bandcamp spelled normally. When you put your music up for free, you have a few different options. You can set your release as either being paid for, you could set it as a donation so the person can choose how much they actually pay for it, whether that be £0 or £5, £10, or you can set it as a free release. If it is a free release, in order to get your music, the person has to put their email address in. The release is then sent to the email address. Now what you get out of that is an email address for your mailing list and a new potential fan. That is what I mean when I say don't give your music away for free. I'm not talking specifically financial. Get something back out of it, whether it be some feedback, whether it be an email address, whether it be a show, something. Don't just throw your music away. You've worked hard on it, you deserve something in return. It may not necessarily be financial, but that email address is just as good as money at this stage. Now with Bandcamp, the only thing to bear in mind is that you have a limit to the amount of downloads you can have per month. I think it's something like 500 downloads per month. If you get more downloads than that in a month, then you have to pay to upgrade your limit. In my opinion, once again, I'm going to keep saying this because it is only my opinion, you don't have to take my advice, but in my opinion, if you're getting more than 500 downloads in a month, I would pay for that. It's definitely worth it. I've met many artists who have all but boasted in my face that, yeah, I've had X amount of downloads on my newest release, my new mixtape, my new album. And quite frankly, I'm like, okay, cool. So, at the end of the day, if you want to be a professional artist, it is to a degree about money. It's not just about money for cars and money for chains and whatever. It's money to continue your music career. I go out and sell my CDs to make money, to get myself in the studio, to pay for my music videos, to pay for my releases, etc, etc. I'm not asking for handouts, I'm not begging anybody for anything. I like to pay my own way. People say, oh yeah, you should do it for the love. I do it for the love, but love doesn't pay bills and love does not pay for things to get done. So you do need to make some money, eventually. Boasting to me about how many people have downloaded your music for free is not a good boast. It doesn't take much to download a free release. You don't even have to listen to it, you don't have to like it, you can just download it. No skin off your nose. It's those same artists who then get very baffled when they actually release their official singles or their official albums and barely anybody buys it. Once again, like I said, it's not been done right. The argument is, yeah, it's worked for artists in the past. It's kind of like planning your finances around winning the lottery. Just because you release a free mixtape does not mean 10 million people are going to download it for free. You can't guarantee it until it goes out there, so don't just plan your entire career around a free mixtape, because that is bad planning. The hope is that as a result of all those people downloading it, you'll get some shows, you'll get some paid shows, you'll get some exposure, etc, etc. That is the hope, but it's not guaranteed, so you need to take it into your own hands and make sure that no matter what happens, you've controlled as much as possible. That way, if the best case scenario does happen and a load of people have downloaded it, you start getting a load of shows, you've not lost out because you've got contact with the majority of those people, if not all of those people who have supported your music and downloaded it for free. Now you have a few different options. You can release one track for free. The only issue with that is that the person may not like the one track, and when it comes to a longer release, at least there's an opportunity to hear a few different tracks, a few different sides. You know, maybe one track, maybe 3, 4, 5, a small release, not a whole 20 track album. Please respect yourself. Another option, and most people do this, is to record on existing beats that are familiar to the general public. It allows people to feel familiar with the music already and they get to hear how you do things. I personally really hate it when everybody jumps on the same beat. If Jay-Z or Kanye have released a song, guaranteed everybody's going to jump on that. It gets very boring very quickly when you've heard about 20 different versions. Unless you can guarantee you are going to do it better than everybody else out there, including the original artist, because if you can't do it better than the original artist, don't do it. Okay, and you have to be very honest with yourself. Try to choose popular songs that people haven't really done or haven't even done at all. That will set you apart from the rest of the artists who are still throwing their music away for free, buying their Twitter followers and complaining that nobody's buying their music. Train your fans. I'm going to keep saying this. If throughout your entire career you've given your music away for free, and then suddenly you come with your official release that you expect people to pay for, you can't complain if nobody buys it, because you've trained your fans to expect all your music for free from you. If, however, you've set it out that, you know, this is my free release, but I have something coming next, then it's understandable. And you need to always make sure with a free release you've got something to follow up with, or you've got a reason to do it. Have very clear goals, whether that be I want my fan base to go from here to here, or I want to get shows, or I want to use it as marketing for my next album. Don't just put your release out for free and have no idea what you want to get from it. That doesn't make sense. You can put out snippets. For instance, snippets of upcoming tracks. You can put out rough versions and make it very clear that it's rough. You can even advertise on the release. It's free, come on. You know, talk about what you've got coming next. Put a little advert in there, or advertise your Facebook, Twitter, ask people to jump on that. You never know, it might work. You don't have to spam it, but at least use the opportunity. Somebody has got something from you for free, you get something in return. You're professional artists, it's only right. You also get the case where people take the time to put their music onto a CD, go around to shows and just give it for free. Sometimes I get 5-10 CDs, I'll go out to a show, come back with a load of CDs. I'll do my best to listen to it, but I'm putting myself in the position of the average person. If I was an average person, I definitely wouldn't listen to it because I wouldn't value it like that. If, however, I paid £5 for it, £6, £7, etc., I definitely want to know what's on the CD. Even if you are giving your music away for free, once again, go around with that mailing list I talked about. Get an email address in exchange for that free CD. Follow up, find out what people think of it. Build a connection with your fans. Let them know you've got something coming next. Let them know that you exist, so that they're not just sitting there thinking, yeah, I love that CD. Who was that guy? And they never hear from you again. All in all, if somebody wants your music for free, they will get it. There's no way to stop them doing that. But I guarantee you there are people out there who want to support your music. Don't take that chance away from them. Whether it be releasing something small and then following up quickly with your official album. Don't just waste your opportunities. Have your clear goals. Make sure to get some information from people. Don't just let your music go out there into the universe and you never know what happens to it after that. Be smart about it. If the best case scenario comes from it, then you're still in a better position than half of these guys who are playing the lottery and throwing their music out and hoping that something will happen. That's all I can say. So that's why I don't like free releases, because people aren't doing them right. If you do them right, then you're going to be laughing. So hopefully that helps. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be continuing the discussion about how to get your music out there. Me personally, I'm going to be performing at Truck Fest. I'm really looking forward to it. It's my favourite festival of the year, hence why I've been a bit slack in recording this. I've had a lot to do. But as always, stay in contact, subscribe to the videos, let me know what you think so I can continue making these and I know that you're benefiting from them. Because ultimately, I want to help you because I feel like it. I don't have another reason than that. I just want to help you. So yo, it's the D, it's the I, it's the Y, it's the gang. Keep it frosty.
People, make some noise! Don't know, nigga, you don't know. Elbow, bro. Let's go. Ready? Bounce! 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 Bounce!